October 5th, 1895, a heart-wrenching tragedy unfolded on the stormy waters of the English Channel yesterday, leaving an entire village shrouded in mourning. 23 children, all students of St. Margaret's School in the small seaside hamlet of Winton, met with their untimely deaths as their steamer, the Pelican, was claimed by the depths. The ill-fated journey, which had begun as an innocent school trip intended to broaden the children's horizons, quickly turned into a nightmare of unimaginable proportions. Reports from the sole survivor paint a chilling picture of terror, panic, and heartbreaking loss. Mr. Thomas Langley, a deckhand aboard the Pelican, is the sole survivor of the disaster. With eyes hollow from shock and grief, he recounted the dreadful events to this correspondent. "We were only a few miles off the coast when the weather turned. The sea had been calm earlier in the day, but by late afternoon the wind rose without warning. The clouds thickened, and the waves started thrashing against the hull. The children were on deck, singing and laughing, blissfully unaware of the storm gathering around them. It was then that disaster struck. We hit something, rocks or maybe a sandbank. It's hard to say in that kind of weather. The steamer lurched violently, and in the confusion, it became clear she was taking on water fast," Mr. Langley recounted, his voice breaking. "The screams of the children, God help us, they will haunt me forever." Amidst the chaos, attempts were made to lower the lifeboats, but the storm raged with such ferocity that any such effort proved futile. "We tried. Heaven knows we tried, but the sea took them all. They were so young. The steamer went down quickly. Their little voices. And then nothing." As darkness fell, the steamer's distress flares were seen by other vessels, but by the time any rescuers could arrive, it was too late. Those who reached the site of the wreckage reported hearing the faint, desperate cries of children, carried on the wind, before they were drowned out by the roaring sea. The children, ages 8 to 12, had all come from Winton, a small village of no more than 400 souls. The school trip, organised by the devoted headmistress, Miss Eleanor Trigg, was meant to be a day of learning and joy. Tragically, Miss Trigg perished alongside her pupils, giving her life in a vain effort to save them. The village of Winton is now a place steeped in sorrow, with homes draped in black crape and the church bell tolling mournfully in the heavy air. It is said that nearly every family has been touched by this disaster, as fathers, mothers, and siblings mourn the loss of their children. The vicar of Winton, the Reverend John Pembroke, has called for a day of national mourning, urging the country to join in prayer for the lost souls. "There is no sorrow deeper than that of a parent burying their child," Reverend Pembroke solemnly stated. "Our village has been struck by a grief so profound it shall take years to recover." Mothers and fathers gathered at the harbour today, their faces etched with despair, staring blankly out at the sea that took their loved ones. "My Alice, she was only 9, one mother whispered, clutching a small ribbon that had belonged to her daughter. "She was so full of life. Now, she's gone." The loss of the Pelican and the innocent lives aboard has sparked demands for an official inquiry into the safety of maritime travel, particularly regarding vessels used for school trips and similar excursions. Many are questioning how such an unfit ship could have been allowed to sail, and if the crew had been properly trained to handle such a crisis. The villagers of Winton, however, are beyond the reach of such questions for the moment, their hearts consumed by grief. The sea, long a source of livelihood and sustenance for this small fishing community, has now become a cruel and merciless thief. As news of the tragedy spreads, expressions of sympathy have poured in from across the country. Her Majesty, Queen Victoria, in a statement issued this morning, expressed her profound sadness at the loss and has decreed that all flags be flown at half-mast in memory of the children. It is a stark reminder of the unpredictable dangers that still lurk at sea, even in this age of great progress and innovation. In Winton, The only sound is the weeping of parents, and the haunting echo of the church bell, tolling for the souls of the 23 children lost to the depths. Their laughter and joy silenced forever, the sea has claimed its toll, leaving behind broken hearts and a village that will never be the same again.